we are. I actually filmed this yesterday and now I'm going to be filming because I filmed it all portrait of landscape. Today I'm going to try and find the Meltham Railway. I know where it is. That's the behind the camera. We're actually in a Victorian Park. But if I sort of just shows you the view quickly. Pans around a little bit. We are going to not actually be looking at the view because we're going down there. Right, so let's start this journey. I know these steps, there's a heck of a lot of them for a start, but these steps will probably date back to Victorian times, because again the reason why the railway down here was built was to support the industry in the local area. So a lot of people would have used these steps to get to and from work. It's very easy to forget that at the end of the day, A, you're talking big Victorian times, people walked everywhere or cycled. B, even up until the 1980s, for every family to have a car in this part of the world wasn't that common. I know I'm talking a bit fast, I'll slow down so you can hear me clearer. But yeah, how many steps do you reckon there is, Brandon?
I think counted it 4 years ago, but over 300, I think.
I don't think there's that many, but we'll see. Might count them on the way back up if we come up this way. But either way, I'm sorry, if you live in Yorkshire, you get to the point where you feel a bit like a mountain goat. And there's the first view of what we're down here to see. Right, we've come to the end of the line, or the beginning in our case. I'm going to talk a bit slower because I realised I was rushing through that far too quickly. Over here, behind me, underneath the bridge, which is just showing up white on the camera to guess, there is Lockwood train station. Now this used to branch off at Lockwood train station and go down to Meltham. The importance of Meltham is that it's where the David Brown tractor factory used to be, or part of it anyway. And the significance of that, I told you you're a mechanic, I told you I had to get something in somewhere. So this railway was built for the factory there and also other businesses. Also, if we look across in that direction, Brandon, you can see the beginning of the viaduct. Now, hopefully Brandon's got a little bit of the road in at the bottom, and the idea of that is to give you some idea of scale. Right, and we're back again. My son, bless him, has just said there's somebody staring at us. I don't know whether you can see it down there. There is an allotment with a scarecrow in it. So that's just made me smile a lot. Anyway, back on with this walk. As we're walking down here, we can clearly see to that side of us, well I say clearly see, there is a wall. And from where I'm stood, it looks like at this end of the track it was wide enough to have two lines. So whether you'd got goods at one side waiting to go on the line between Huddersfield and Sheffield, is a good possibility. Also, as we walk down here, you might be able to see some of these arches that are in the wall. The reason why they're here is, if you look that side, you drop off this banking, as daft as it sounds, a lot more than 45 degrees, although it doesn't look like it on this camera. But I won't want to jump down there if there were a train coming. I know that much for a fact, because you won't be able to stop yourself. But today we'll just go, see how far we can get, and then we'll take it from there. Right, back again like a bad penny. Just looking at this is the bottom of the Victorian Park. It's right next to the railway line. And when I say right next, as I go about 10 yards further up here, it's literally right next to the railway line. Because again, there's the entrance to the park that goes underneath the railway. There's the edge of the park where that dry stone wall is. Sorry, concreted stone wall. So, I say, you've got to love the sense of humour. And what I mean by that is no health and safety back then. I mean, one day I will do more of the park, because it is a lovely park. It does have a Victorian style bandstand, but it was replaced early 2000s. Although it's still on the base of the original bandstand. The original bandstand got took down many years ago, just because it was unsafe. And as with so much stuff, unless there's the brass to fix it, it gets pulled down. So I will leave you at that for now. Right, back again. But this time, this is going to be short and sweet, and I can't see because I'm in my own shadow. I was going to try and get all that in one shot, so it could be paused and read again at a later date, because there's probably a lot on there, I don't know. And again, here's another one, but being as my failed attempt of trying to pick up what's on there didn't work due to light, here's some of the pictures on a board of what this will have looked like. I will hold it up in desperation and try, but because I'm not 6 foot tall, Brandon, do you want to have a go? Right, bring it back down. Yeah, it's great when you've got a stepson that's 6'4". Yeah. So, we'll go a bit further. You can see here on the railway bed, there's a lot of stuff that's been dragged down off the banking. The only thing I'll say to that is thank you to Huddersfield Fire Station. They've been coming here, they've been using or practicing the mountain rescue skills, and at the same time putting them to good use and stripping all the detritus, all the dead stuff off the banking. Because after sort of like 6 weeks of lockdown, a lot of this was seriously overgrown. Although we could go out and exercise everywhere, it's not somewhere that a lot of people came down. So, as I say, sorry about my fingers just then. As you can see, we're so lucky to have that help. We're also so lucky, not that far away from here, we have Marsden's mountain rescue team. And you can argue that a lot of the places in Yorkshire, there isn't mountains, they're just hills that are almost steep enough to be mountains. The same principles still apply. So I take my hat off to them as well. Here I am again, pointing the camera down at the floor like a complete numpty. However, I don't mind. My channel is still young. I'm still learning. So just bear with me. Now, what you might be able to see along there is more railway bed, which is fine. You can also see a tunnel. I ain't going that way. I might be happy and you know it, but no, I ain't going that way. So, I mean, would you go down there, Brandon?
Not when it's like this.
No. I think you need some severe waders or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a canoe at the far end. But, again, I ain't risking it. Although I know my son did once when he was looking for a lost dog. But, that's life. Right. So, I think this is going to be it for part 1. And also, when we go down to the other end of the line, which is at Meltham, we'll walk along the railway bank there, or railway bed should I say, and see what's left of the factory. And I will actually give you some history on David Brown's. Right, back again. Earlier on in this video, I mentioned about a viaduct. It's still in working order today, as you can see with the train going over, which is really nice. And then, I mean, this view goes on for a good mile. That's Huddersfield town centre down there, or at least the bottom side of it. As I come back round, you've got a clock tower in the middle of the shop. That was an old Victorian mill, and unfortunately that burnt down a couple of years ago. But even in the 90s, that was still running as a mill. And we go a bit further round. There's Castle Hill. And one day I'll take you up all up there. And the view up there is absolutely stunning. Then, we can't see him today, unfortunately, but you might see a tower stuck up between the top of that tree. Now that's Emily Moor Mast. That's, if memory serves me right, 1,026 feet high, plus the aerial on the top. And it sends out a signal for over 80 miles. And we're about 10 miles away from that as it is. Pan round, and you can see in the distance the hills over there. They're probably still around about 10 miles away, so it's not a bad place to live. But I'm now going to hand over the camera to my son, and I'm going to do an outro. He's going to zoom out a little bit more for me. Have you zoomed out yet, B?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on this journey with us, and thank you to my assistant Brandon. I'm tired, but I've enjoyed the walk, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.